Very good morning to all. This lecture is about cloud based application development and management, and the code is TCS 552. Myself, Dr. Sachin Sharma. We are discussing Unit 4, the cloud management. SLA, the service level agreement that consists of the service that is provided by the service provider and also which is using by the user, the responsibility of the service provider about the service, the quality, that what standard the service provider is following, delivery of the service, that what method and what type of service is provided by the service provider. Timely, timely shows the if is there time constraint. For example, if a service provider is providing service related to the e-commerce, then they have to very specific about that how long they will take to deliver the product to the user, and that need to be mentioned on SLA. The excellence of the service, that is also very important part. And the client, the information about the client is part of SLA. So the service level agreement consists of these seven components: service, responsibility, quality, delivery, timely, excellence, and client. There are seven elements of cloud computing value. Uh, the utility pricing, that consists of the price of the unit, and that unit will be related to the quality of service or the type of service that is provided by the service provider. Elastic resource capacity, the virtualized resources, management automation, self-service provisioning, third-party ownership, and managed operation. So these are the seven elements of cloud computing value. When we talk about the economic elements, that consist of three components: pay as you go, that you are familiar with, that every service on cloud is pay as you go, and pay as you grow, which is related to the business. If a client belongs to the business, if they use more resources as per their business increase, they have to pay for the specific package that is provided by the service provider. And the third component is no capital expenditure, that is called abbreviation is used capex. The second element is related to the architectural elements, that consist of the simple abstract environment for the development. So that architecture elements is basically related to the developer, that developer generally use this component, this element. The next is strategic elements, that basically focus on the core business and leave the rest to someone else. So these are the three elements of the cloud computing. The SLA, the service level agreement, has two major parts in type of service: the service requirement that is generated by the client, and the delivery of the service that is provided by the provider, and that is the continuously flow of the service. So in SLA, two major component, client and provider, and both are related to each other in terms of services. So client is the one who require the service from the provider, and the provider is the one who deliver the service to the client. Here's the view graph of the SLA, that how this thing works. The service consumer that search for the service under service discovery, SLA negotiation. So both are the part of the service broker. The service broker will take care of the service discovery and SLA negotiation, and which is bidirectional with the service registration, SLA negotiation with the service provider, resource allocation, SLA management. So all these things comes under cloud management system that has to be handled by cloud service provider. And the resources, which can be situated at anywhere at Asia Pacific, Europe, North America, South America, anywhere. So those resources are part of the cloud service provider, and cloud service provider connect to the service consumer via service broker. So this is the view graph about to understand that how SLA works, and there is negotiation option is also there. So for example, if you experience that if you are using one telecom operator service, for example Airtel, and you want to switch to the Geo service provider, if you SMS for the port, you immediately receive the call from the existing service provider by asking the question that why you would like to switch and why you want to quit the service. And that time, whatever query you put in front of the customer care, they try to resolve your query, and sometimes they give you really good benefits So in this way, the negotiation can be done. And if you have experience, so that part is called negotiation, and that is also part of the SLA. Benefits. When we talk about the cloud benefits, there are multiple things comes under it. The easily upgradation is supposed to be there. The productivity supposed to be done at anywhere. Offsite data storage, no IT maintenance cost, disaster assistance, that is very important part, that assistance should be there 24/7, always up, lower cost of ownership, easily upgradation. So these are the benefits of using cloud computing services. What is accounting? You must have heard the word accounting, but here we are talking about not the traditional accounting. We are talking about the cloud accounting. The cloud accounting software is similar to the traditional one, but it is on premises or self install accounting software. Only the accounting software is hosted on remote servers, similar to software as a service business model, and the data, which is very private, is sent to the cloud where it is processed and returned to the user. And all the application functions are performed offsite, not on the user's desktop. In cloud computing, users access software application remotely through the internet and other network via cloud application service provider. So there are service provider who provides this cloud accounting service. So they provide a certain application which is deployed over cloud, and using the cloud accounting software frees the business from having to install and maintain software on individual desktop computers. And the accounting is very important part. So the stakeholder wouldn't like to take the risk on it, and there is some uncertainty can happen that the data accounting data may be lost. So they prefer to use the cloud computing and use the cloud accounting services. And the cloud accounting solution also allow employees in other departments, remote or branch office, to access the same data and the same version of the software. And that's a benefit of using cloud accounting. There are a few components which are part of cloud accounting. First is invoice. So whenever you would like to buy anything from the market, online, or if you are using Amazon or Flipkart, whenever you buy anything, an automatic invoice is generated, which has all the information relating to the product, relating to the client, related to the where the material has to be sent and what method is used for the payments. All things are part of the invoice. The second is time billing, and the third component is payroll. So if a cloud accounting is using by an organization, they use to pay to their employees cloud accounting software. So how this cloud accounting software is very useful to different organization or individual small businesses. Traditional accounting. The on-site dedicated hard drive. In a small office, generally you find the manager office in the central hub for all the accounting and payrolls, and there is bookkeeper who use a single computer to manage the record, entry, and payroll. The technical disadvantage is there with the traditional accounting is that with the on-site traditional accounting software setup, a technician is required from the accountant, or the certified accounting software provider will need to install the software. Then if there are any glitches happens, a technician needs to come and need to access the computer for the repair. So there's the technical disadvantage that technical person needs to be there, or it needs to provide the service. If something happened on your local desktop, he has to come and fix it. And the third one is limited access. So, for example, if there is only one computer running on traditional accounting software, it limits to number of user accessing the data and able to make entries to it. So, none of other people they can use if that software is not installed on other system. So, there is dependency on one person who is basically handling that software. The cloud accounting. So the cloud accounting doesn't need a dedicated hard drive. So dedicated hard drive is eliminated. With cloud accounting, there is no hard drive to store the data. Instead, all your financial data will be stored on the server, which is controlled by a third-party cloud accounting provider. And the access to your business finance or any record you need to associate it with the payroll. If all accessed online, you can assign the team members. So if you are switching to from the traditional accounting to the cloud accounting, you won't be needed to make one computer accessible to team members, as they can log in online from anywhere using any device, phone, tablet, or laptop. The second advantage is using cloud accounting is lower entry cost. So with traditional accounting software, since it is require installation or dedicated server on site, there is a higher cost is involved, and usually in the hundreds of first gets set up, then ongoing maintenance fees and sometimes repair costs too. It's expensive. So cloud accounting software is very easier to manage by multiple users. So as they can able to log in using the center dashboard online, and from there technicians can work with you through any glitches and get you back up and running without you requiring a technician to call around to your office, and it's all managed remotely. And since it's cost effective service to operate due to using online resources, is far less expensive for a smaller size business to get up and running. And the third benefit is flexible contracts. This is huge benefit for new businesses, startup businesses, due to uncertainty element of the client. And the new startups, they don't know actually that how long they will run and they will be in business, and most all will be likely to be apprehensive about entering into long-term contracts usually associated with traditional accounting software, because in traditional accounting software they have to pay a lot to buy, and that will be definitely for a lifetime, but the maintenance fee, so the cost is a lot. So with cloud accounting, there is no need for lengthy contracts, and you can actually run month to month, and most certainly won't need to enter in the in a 5-year contract. So that's the benefit of using cloud accounting. Uh, let's talk about that. Which one is best, traditional or the cloud accounting? So in cloud accounting, your data will be shared. So not every business owner is happy about it. They do have concern about the security, And the vast majority of the cloud computing companies, they take extreme care with data security. However, in some sectors such as banking, there is a risk and it's too high because you are not going to put your money in a bank where your data is leaked or there is chance to be leaked. So if you want the complete control over your financial data, the cloud is not actually for you. You are trusting your data to a third party provider. You need to be comfortable with that because there is no other way. The traditional account is best for those who want to complete control of the data. Security. If a client is actually worried about the non-secure wireless network accessing your data, you will need to find out from a cloud provider if you will be able to restrict access to secure connection. And it is possible, but not always with the cheaper cloud accounting software option. With enhanced security beyond the basic security that all cloud service provider offer, there is a usually a premium attached that is not always expensive, but definitely not the cheaper one. The financial data backup. The cloud accounting is the ultimate backup for the business to make sure that they will have access to their data. And think about the fires happen, floods happen, storms, and other, you know, disaster happens, and there is possibility that may destroy the hard drive. So if you are using traditional accounting software, maybe sometime you have to think about it. Then you better understand that that's the advantage of using cloud accounting, that a third party is actually hosting your data on their server and you can access anywhere, even though any disaster happens in your office. So that's the benefit of using cloud accounting. So there is a small comparison that when cloud accounting software should be used versus traditional accounting software. So if the companies have a small budget, since it often costs less over time to invest in cloud accounting software than traditional accounting software, and the businesses with employees who work remotely, since they have prefer the convenience and accessibility of a cloud solution. Some small companies who cannot provide themselves with adequate security, since many cloud computing companies can keep their information safer from security threats than they can. And the business that want to avoid any potential physical mishap with technology at an office that could destroy hard drives, thus such as from fire, flood, etc. So in that case, they have to use the cloud accounting software. So that's it for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.